Alright folks, welcome to another stream with Green-White Reclaimer. Continuing to tune this list, trying to find the optimal version. I have been pretty happy with how the list performs against all of the fair decks. Of course, against the unfair decks, that's when we are running into trouble. And then that's kind of it. Or unfair cards, I guess, like Blood Moon style cards can sometimes be a problem. Back to basics can also be a problem to an extent. Though not so much, because we have a solid amount of, oof, hell yeah. We have a solid amount of basics. So we're gonna Once Upon a Time here, then we're gonna Reclaimer on 2. It's kind of a blessing and a curse to be on the play with a hand like this, particularly with a Once Upon a Time hand, because I don't know what I'm looking for. Like maybe I'm playing against a deck where Thalia is amazing, or maybe I'm playing against a deck where Thalia is terrible. So, but it moves to 5 though. So I probably have to assume that we're playing against a deck where Thalia is good. Or maybe simply an opponent with bad luck. Who knows? Having access to Splinter Twin is obviously a great thing. Okay, they move to 5. Yeah, just gonna get a second Reclaimer. Maybe the land would have been better. They don't know about the second one, obviously, man. Cloud Post. Oh, it's this deck. So we're just going to find Ramming Up with this. And Wasteland with this. Oh, it's this version of this deck. Oh, we're fine then. So instead of playing Reclaimers and stuff, they are playing... I think I'm gonna get one more activation here, and this turn we're going to be... double Reclaimer. I actually don't think I want to do that. So I'm just going to play one of these Reclaimers, and I'm going to play a tap land and say go. Now I'm going to find Wasteland, and then I'm going to double Wasteland them next turn. If they have exactly Thought Knot, this plan backfires, but I'm still Wastelanding them, so it's not that big of a deal anyway. Yeah, I guess my opponent could have exactly Pithing Needle or something like that, but... if they have a needle effect, of course, this is going to be worse, but if all they have is like a Smasher or something. Seems like all they have is a Smasher or something. They can't even attack with Reshaper. In fact, we could double block this Smasher right here, right now. Yeah, I kind of want to. Savannah, Wasteland, trade one Reclaimer for the Smasher, waste you, Zenith for Ramming Up, Wasteland you, opponent can't attack. Say go. We had an Ancient Tomb, we could ramp into Zenith for Titan there. We don't need that, I'd rather do this. Like even if I did had Ancient Tomb and I had that play available to me, I still wouldn't do it because I would lose to all this dust. I guess we wouldn't like lose to all this dust, but this is just a lot better. It just locks my opponent out. Like they literally have 0 outs at this point. But yeah, there's a reason why there's no Castle Gernbrig, there's no Ancient Tomb. All of those cards have already been tried and tested, and they didn't prove to be good enough. Guess we're going with this. Surgical is cute. It's not good. $1,800 bitch, where's my money? Thank you for the follow. I guess that's a username. Can we find... Oh man, so unlucky. We don't even have a Flagstones. I'm still keeping this hand though. Opponent going down to 6. I remember at one point, this deck was all the rage. Thank you. I'm gonna call you money. I'm gonna call you money. Sure, so opponent moves to 6. Guess I play around Chalice. It's a lot of mana. That is a lot of mana. This is 7 assists. Up to potentially 9 for Eldrazi spells. Golos. Well, shit. Another Cloud Boast. So I think I'm gonna have to waste here, which means that unfortunately I'm not gonna be able to have enough time to get my engines rolling. Besua is gonna copy Wasteland, and I'm gonna play another Reclaimer. We have the combo here, but we might just not have enough time to get it going. Karn the Great Creator. I mean, they can lattice us here. Can we beat a lattice? No, we can't beat a lattice. All right, that was a very strong opener from opponent. If we had access to what's his name, I think if we had access to turn 2 Flagstones, I think that we would have been fine in that game, because we would have had one more land, meaning that we would have been able to play Raminap and get back. To get back what's his name, or would have been able to play Dryad, which would have given us one more land drop to use. Just beat the beta player who beat me. What are you playing, Rodney? You playing the same nonsense? Blue-red Bedlam Reveler Delver. Let's go. Reveler Delver. This is really tempting. This is really, really tempting. This is kind of a mulligan, so would I keep this on a wall to 6? I think like I can do better, but I can also do a lot worse. Okay, let's keep this. I think I'm gonna go turn 1 tapped garden. And I think I'm gonna Zenith for Reclaimer, so we can have the engine going. And this time around we do have Flagstones, which is gonna be pretty key. Cascading Cataracts. Please don't have Dismember. No turn 1 Dryad? No, because like I go get a Dryad and then I do nothing, right? I don't have anywhere to go from there. So there's not much point in going to get a Dryad Arbor, because it literally doesn't achieve anything for me. This is a win condition, Dryad Arbor is not. Big difference. Big difference. Hope we do the legacy a bit better before next. Yeah, for sure, Turtle Power. I mean, this is not really a a staple of a deck, right? So don't think that you're gonna be facing this deck. You know what I'm saying? Do I get greedy? I try to cash in more value for this force. My opponent is short on mana. We're just gonna do it on upkeep. Cyberthing has been terrible. Yeah, I feel ya. Legacy is not the easiest format, honestly. Holding on to this in case I draw a field or in case I draw a field or Valakut. It even is something that we can pitch to Smasher Trigger. Seems good. For instance, Speed Wasteland would make cutting one Wasteland easier too. Yeah, Agent, I already tried Knight of the Reliquary and it was cut because it was just underwhelming. So Reality Smasher. I'm not willing to take 5 here. I guess not. Oh, why did I pay 2? I have no idea. Definitely holding on to this one for current purposes. It's bad if they have Thought Knot, but like I think it would have been good for them to play Thought Knot that last turn, so I don't think they have it. Another Monolith. Well, shit. We can bounce that guy, but that's not gonna end up well for us. Is there a world where we race this? I think if we find the Valakut, I'm actually bouncing this. Because we can apparition this and then just like bounce this a bunch of times. If we find field, that's a different story. That's a card. We swing for 2 down to 9. They take 2 to Ancient Tomb. I do think that we just raise them. How much mana are they gonna have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 7. They could have all this dust. I think that we just accept loss to all this dust. And we just race my opponent. No, they can't activate Golos, but I want to get them dead. This doesn't trigger off the Golos trigger. So if they have all this dust, that's a problem. But as is, we have lethal, because if they want to cast the Golos, they need to take 2 for Ancient Tomb, and we can make a zombie with this Wooded Foothill, so... We got them a little bit on the squeeze, unless they all is dust to us. All is dust us. It's close. I do have a reasonable amount of draw steps that would be very, very powerful. And I also have some of them that are rather terrible. Caracas bouncing Golos, randomly allowing me to raise my opponent thanks to their Ancient Tomb. It's very funny. They could play something like a Smasher. What happens if they smash? Carno? Carno would be kind of bad. Yeah. Karn for what, though? For Ratchet Bomb. Very interesting. So they're gonna get to swipe the zombies. Okay. We're still making a zombie on end step. I'm gonna force them to crack that. Ooh, we can even Dryad Arbor? Hell yeah. So... attack Karn, attack... This is non-land, right? Non-land permanent, yeah. So attack Karn, attack them, and them. Karn down. Second field, go. Can we squeeze that victory? Can we squeeze that victory? First game, first league. Yes, common sense. It's the second league. It's the second league. We already played the first one. played some pretty close games. Reclaimer tempo. Reclaimer tempo. It's there. Force of Vigor, you're... Oh. Rodney was just hanging out in my chat. we were talking, and Rodney actually beat my the player that beat me in the previous league. So I guess we're playing against Blue Red Delver. This hand is bad. This hand is a heck of a lot better. So let's keep this one. And I think I'm bottoming the Dryad, even though it's a little bit weird. Gonna play Misty on one, gives us more options. That's a bad draw. Like, this is like the cost of playing with Collector Roof in your deck, right? So now we get to plow this on end step and tap, play Thalia. Yeah, would have loved to draw this guy on turn one, but it's fine. Young BZ. Actually, it's a lot easier for us to deal with young PC than it would be to deal with Arcanist, so I'm happy that we kill the Arcanist. I never know if I should say Arcanist or Arcanist. Chain Lightning, probably killing the Reclaimer, makes sense. Makes sense. Sure, actually I'm interested in trading, however my opponent wants to. And I think I'm just playing this as a stupid 2-3. Like, if they answer the Thalia, I don't think I care too much. Seepers, thank you for the follow. Now that's awkward. Basics too strong. Basics too strong. They can chump attack with the Arcanist to attempt to kill the Thalia. We can bounce the Thalia with Caracas. So what we do is we wait for them to do something. Interesting. Okay. Would not like to redirect, thank you. Now we double block. They are their blockers. We wait for Thalia to deal first strike damage. After first strike damage is done, we bounce Thalia. Then regular damage happens. They can... I think what they're going to try to do here is to try to find a bolt so they can kill the Oof. Which would be a good... I mean, it would be a good play. It would allow their Arcanist to continue to be alive. But this as is, this was a great exchange for us, obviously. Yeah, so many basics. They're down to 1 card though. It's gonna be a lot of elementals though. I need to find one of my endgame stuff quickly. Kind of qualifies. So they could have these. Am I just finding a Reclaimer here? Just starting your legacy, any tips? Then just playing a bunch. I mean, familiarizing yourself with the format is step number 1 for sure, common sense. And then is like try starting with easier decks. Like I recommend not starting with a Brainstorm deck, for example. Brainstorm decks are very they're just very tough by design. I think I'm just supposed to go get. I think I'm just supposed to go get Reclaimer. It's a 3/4, so it's not going to be easy for them to handle, and then we can start zombieing. Force of Negation was revealed. Okay. I guess I could have been attacking all this time because of the first strike trick. And I guess I'm gonna do this on upkeep in case they have Stifle. I don't think that they have Stifle, but esto no es Modern. No, quédate tranquilo, morde. Se juega Legacy acá, se juega Legacy, no le hacemos miedo a nada. So they went bottom top, so I have to assume that they have something at least decent. We can double up on zombies next turn. So why did I sack the Flagstones? I'm stupid. No, I guess it actually makes kind of sense. Now I can sack the Flagstones and we actually get max amount of zombies this way. This was on purpose, I guess. Don't worry about it, chat. I completely intended for this to work out this way. This is just a 2/2, it just doesn't do shit, so starting to jam now. And I think like each one of these is 2 triggers, so I could bounce and replay this. I don't think that's what I want to do. Because it would have allowed my opponent to play a Brainstorm, which gives them 2 more tokens. So I'm going to go down to 7, which is a little bit scary. But I do think that I have to. So they have 5 7, 8, 9. So they're going to have 9 blockers, potentially up to 11. So we still have lethal, I think. Yeah, we still have lethal, even through all of those blockers. All right, so my line of not sacking the Flagstones was actually perfect. Why do I even doubt myself? Clearly, I'm a genius. Liga gratis por los tokens varios. No, probablemente no voy a hacer esa. My opponent might be playing Blood Moon, which makes me a little bit more interested in this. We just saw how bad Wasteland was that game. Archon is interesting against Delver. I don't think that's what I'm about. This doesn't stop Wasteland, but it does stop fetches, so definitely good to be aware of that. Excavators fine, Truckers, medium. I think I do like this. I do like this for sure. Bog is pretty good against Bedlam Reveler, so I also against Arcanist. Veil of Summer is a big question mark. Just bin one of this. Maybe shave one Thalia on the draw. Better. Remember when I shaved that Thalia? I think I'm wasting here. I guess depends on what I draw. Another Zenith. Yeah, sure, let's waste. This might backfire on us, but I think it's cool. No! Why? God damn it. Ah! Never punished. It's all good. Don't worry about it. It was my play from the beginning. Good game, Strat. GG's, Rodney. I think it's correct. Like, my opponent is showing me, like, clearly it shows that they don't have that many. So that there's actually, I kind of went ahead and I just wastelanded my opponent, but there's a lot that went into that thought, which kind of I have automated by just playing Legacy. It's like, if your opponent is playing a deck that plays a shit ton of basics, potentially even Blood Moon, and they still go turn one Volcanic Island into a cantrip, that not only did they not play a Delver, but they clearly are looking for something, and whatever that's something that they're looking for, it shows weakness, right? Because they know I'm playing a Wasteland deck. They're not just going to expose their one land to a Volcanic Island. There is the possibility that they're trying to bait me, and they have like a land heavy hand, and they want to bait me into doing this. But because of how my hand lined up, I still think, because like at that point I hadn't drawn the Dryad Arbor, so I was still going to be able to catch up on mana. I think that it's worth it to wastelanding them and getting potentially a lot of value from a card that is otherwise not very good in the matchup. This hand is just simply too slow. Like it's nice, it's robust, but it's just too slow. Okay, so we're gonna keep this bottom, this second Zenith. Probably playing against Snoko, is what I would think. Two cards on top. Okay, so let's start with this. See what's up. I think out of all these cards, with my current hand, I am interested in the land. Okay, so they didn't shuffle. I think I'm gonna upkeep fetch. Get Savannah and say go. We might get Okode here. That would be annoying, but not unbeatable. Do this. Oh shit. I guess we're actually playing against the combo. Makes sense. This seems like it could be Ant. This is very likely just Ant, actually. Not very... Oh, it could be Doomsday. But not very many decks actually just do this. We might be dead. We already have a wasteland, so we can just sack this and go get flagstones. Get my little engine going on. There's also the possibility for playing Sealed Library here. I think that it's kind of important for us to get this going. Okay, so it isn't. No, just Doomsday. Okay. ¿No has considerado Ariel la Misty al upkeep viendo que no fechaba? No, cacho, pues es... El costo oportunidad es muy alto, ¿no? El costo oportunidad es que yo me estoy haciendo Wasteland a mí mismo. Es muy alto. Tenés que estar muy seguro de que es una jugada que te va a dar mucha ventaja para hacerle Wasteland a un Misty. The question is, why didn't I Wasteland the Misty Rainforest on their upkeep? And my answer is that the opportunity cost of wastelanding a Misty Rainforest, any fetchland for that matter, it's same thing as wastelanding a wasteland, right? You only make a play like that when you know that it's gonna be game winning. So you only see wastelanding a wasteland out of like depths when you know that you can force your opponent to react, and then you make a 20/20 response or stuff like that. But the opportunity cost is just way too high, right? Like I'm basically giving my opponent a free wasteland when I do that. So since the opportunity cost is so damn high, it is very, very important to make sure that you're doing that only if you know that that play is actually going to win you the game. Not even just give you an advantage, actually win you the game. Let's speak freedom. It's okay, it's okay. This is a bilingual stream. If people ask in Spanish, I answer back in Spanish. If people ask in English, I just stream in English all the time, so. I'm really struggling to figure out that Doomsday pile. The good thing is I can have my lunch at the same time. Do I speak any other language that you can ask questions in? Good question. I speak a little bit of Portuguese, but my my vocabulary is pretty limited. So maybe we can draw Thalia. That would be sick. Wyvern F, thank you for the follow. Ideas Abound is such a sweet card for them to be playing. Personal tutor. It's been a minute since we've seen this one. Okay. Teniendo en cuenta que no tienes un plan de partida solo contra combo y él ha hecho una jugada que ha hecho me parecía una cosa que se podía pagar, gracias por tu opinión. Sí, 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 pero de nuevo, se pierde mucho, ¿no? Bog doesn't do anything. I guess second Wasteland. Because I definitely want to start attacking now. Perfect. Does this do anything? I don't think so, huh? We could find, if they don't kill me exactly this turn, which I think that they're going to be able to. If they don't kill me exactly this turn, then what we can do, yeah, they have LED. We could like draw into Dryad plus any land, and then we actually lethal them. Oh no, my opponent put 2 cards on top, so lucky. So now they're gonna do something else that draws a card, trigger on the stack, float 2 mana, draw into the Thassa's Oracle, cast the Oracle. We can plow the Oracle in response. Okay, Deafening Silence, Veils, Archon. This actually messes them up pretty nicely. I guess I bring in Surgical. Like, the only thing that Surgical can do realistically is just like shuffle their deck after they set up a pile. But that might be impactful enough, honestly. And I think I like Knight of Autumn better than Apparition because both answer the same thing, but Knight of Autumn is actually tutorable with Zenith. Yasharn stops LED and artifacts, so that's oof. Yeah. Forza Vigor might be okay, but... Sweet Container Members. Yeah, they were the cheapest ones. I honestly don't like them. I'd rather have the original ones, but... I already have those, so... We have interaction. Can type in Italian, that's basically Spanish, right? That's the only other language I know, yeah. Italian is basically Spanish. In fact, it's a lot closer to Argentinian Spanish than it is to other Spanishes, because Argentina was the country, the Latin country that had the most immigration coming from Italy. So there's a lot of Italian influence in the Argentinian slang, which is funny. No need to show you the wasteland just yet. Opponent does nothing. You can daze this if you want. A lot of early 20th century Germans in Argentina. Yep. Lots of those fellas. Man. Am I just dead here? I guess I... No, I actually can be dead here. God damn it. I guess we're drawing towards surgical again. We could draw another wasteland too. That could be interesting. I cited a Raminap because I didn't expect my opponent to put themselves in a situation like this one. So Raminap's not an out. Yasharn would be insane, actually. Yasharn would be ridiculous, actually. I hadn't thought about that. Like, if I top deck Yasharn, that means that they cannot cycle with Street Race, they cannot suck LED, and they cannot cycle with the other card either. With something on bottom. Shouldn't we be playing the dubstep song when we play this matchup? No, because that's probably copyrighted music that I don't want to play on my stream. Safer. Yeah, Sharon Legacy Savior. Yeah, so I guess I don't want to waste them. I'm just gonna chill. Because if I draw Zenith, I'm gonna Zenith for Yasharn. So they just brought in decays. 1, 2, 3. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, no. So all the days are in the deck. Yasharn? Don't do it, opponent. Don't force me. Come on. Yes! Let's fucking go. The only bad thing is that it's not a 2-turn clock. My opponent not play around Yasharn Implacable Earth Legacy Staple? My opponent's never gonna make that mistake again, huh? Imagine not playing around Yasharn Implacable Earth. Is this like, please tell me this is gonna work. Please tell me this is gonna work. This is too sweet not to work. Chat, help me out here. Okay, give me a Wasteland. Give me a Valakut. Give me a Wasteland, give me a Valakut, give me something like that, because next turn, my opponent is going to be able to kill me again. There's no justice, chat. That's the problem. Do we have a torpor of creature in our 75? We don't. It is one of the things that I was thinking, actually, because it doesn't hurt too many of our things. It only hurts Apparition, Primetime. And I guess now that we're playing Yasharn, it also hurts Yasharn, but it doesn't hurt too much. The thing is, I don't know how good a torpor or creature really is in Legacy. That is the only problem with that. At least we did make them reassess, right? At least we did make them reassess. But at this point now, Titan is a win. Primetime is a win. Zenith is... Is Zenith a win? No, Zenith is not a win. No, Zenith is not a win. So Titan is a win. Valakut is a win. I guess I don't have... Is this a good PogChamp face? Damn! Wow. You know what? We got the boar here. We got the boar. You know what we say? Oh, so awesome. All right. That was too good. That was too good. Just too good. I think I'd rather have a Rhyme app than Tracker. Titan is so... I just don't think I can... I'm gonna get to Titan mana. Potter Mimes is Once Upon a Time in Modern. That card was toxic. Oh yeah, that card was not okay. That card was not okay. It was not okay. Okay. I think this is bad, but maybe we find a Thalia or something. It was Oko? No. The Once Upon a Time was illegal without Oko, and it was still busted. Not the best Humana card once playing the deck, but nevertheless it was a good time. Honestly, I'm not even sure if Once Upon a Time... I think Once Upon a Time might have been more busted than... Wow, just nothing, huh? Just like that, just draw nothing. I think I'm gonna need mana, so I'm just gonna go for Dryad. Once it's played on Legacy, Bloom isn't. Yeah, but that definitely has to do with the fact that Wasteland is in the format, so a card like Amulet of Vigor can never be playable. Same thing with, like, Bounce Lands are not playable in Legacy because of Wasteland. So it's completely unfair to compare. It's the same thing as when people compare Neobrand or Upsol spells with Legacy. It's just that you're comparing a format where 50% of the decks play 4 Force of Wills, and you're comparing that to a format where maybe 20% at most of the format plays 3 Forces of Negation. They're not comparable. They're just not comparable. Sad face. We might be just dead here. Maybe my opponent aces. They force this? Jeez, why? Why would you force this? Are they just super far away from having it? Playing around decay. Second Dryad. Still don't like my spot. My opponent is... They're kind of very close to just having me dead. Like, they can go from 0 to 100 a little bit too quickly. So... let's attack. Let's play another Dryad. Force this? No, they're not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this doesn't change the clock. So let's hold on to it. Gonna be blowing that one up. Green, white, and 1. I guess they could technically have a Wrath effect. Look at us playing around these like absolute champions. Still a 1 turn clock because they took 1 from the force. So my opponent's going to be forced into doing something not pretty here, which is probably decaying or wasting one of their bounce spells or whatever. And yeah, they're going to have to decay my Dryad, because otherwise they just lose. And unfortunately, I think I'm gonna have to play out this Skyclave apparition to make sure that we can set up lethal next turn. So no value at all, just a 3 mana. Just playing it as a silly 3 mana 2/2. That's what we need right now. Yes! Yeah, Sharn. Yeah, Sharn. Yeah, Sharn. One more for the elephant. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. 3-0. I don't think I had ever beaten Doomsday before that. Damn, so sick. So sick. I can't get over it. I just can't get over it. It's too good. I can't get over it. How awesome it was. Historic staple. People don't want to face the wrath of Yasharn. There we go. We found our next victim. At 4 it can't be decay, exactly. The best part is the fact that there's no way that it ever crossed my opponent's mind. And from now on, every time my opponent finds themselves in the same situation, they're going to think about that, and they're gonna think, wait, can I be the Ashant here? There's a little bit of a greedy key, but like over half of our deck is lands, and any land kind of helps us. So depending on what they do, I'm gonna go turn 1 Reclaimer or turn 1 Field of the Dead to set up an oof or another play though. What is this? Chalice? Okay. So we have two options here. And having found another, quote, ETB tapped land is also kind of brutal. But if my opponent is on Eldrazi Stompy, then it's a lot better for me to lead on Field of the Dead, because then I can oof or something else. But if my opponent is on red Stompy and they play a Blood Moon on turn 2, then I'm gonna make sure that I have a green source here. So I don't know if there's a correct play. I think I'm gonna go for the second one because... Oh no, never mind. I was thinking that I would get to play Reclaimer, but that's a challenge on board. I'm an idiot, yeah. Blood Moon. All right, we choose correctly. We chose correctly, my bad. We chose correctly. This is gonna come into play tapped regardless. I think we play it right now. It's bad if my opponent, if they have like a braid or something. But it's just what allows me to put a Dryad into play, and I kind of don't want to kill this because it's denying my opponent 2 mana. They already exiled 1 monkey. Hopefully no Rabble Master. Fuck. The good thing is the Dryad brick walls that very well. Also, my opponent is the slowest mono red prison player I have ever seen. Like, why would you not just F6? Like, you're done. You're not doing anything else. That's it. Why are you just not F6ing? Anyway, let's play a Dryad. This basically brick walls my opponent, fixes my mana. If they attack with everything, I think I actually block the Legion War Boss instead of the Magus. Excuse me? God damn, that's a 3/3? Jeez. Discard your hand and draw 3 cards. Damn. That's good. That's a good fucking card right there. Caracas. So we can sin it for 3 now. Sin it for 3 could give me a Raminap. The problem with Raminap is that it's easier to answer than the Dryad. The problem with playing Dryad is that I'm only playing 1 spell this turn, and Raminap allows me to double spell next turn. I could also Thalia plus Oof. Could also Thalia plus Oof, which is not bad actually, because it's gonna make them, it's gonna make it tougher for them to. Yeah, actually, I think I like that. Thalia plus Oof, because it's gonna mostly because it's gonna make it easy, tougher for my opponent to be able to discard their entire hand. It also puts more actual bodies in play. It's really interesting how this game's playing out. This card is legit though. Pia and Kiran Nalar. That's a card. So they've been Trinisphere and we block there, and I guess I'd rather them kill the Thalia, because now it allows me to sin if I want to. Okay. Land is not bad and it's not great either. What land does though... Now I can Zenith for Ramanap. And we have Titan Mana next turn. Oh, Zenith for Yasharn, of course, that was the line. Zenith for Yasharn was so much better. Yep, I should have gotten the elephant. 500% should have gotten the elephant. Oh my god, it would be so much better. So much better on every single possible way. We would have actual basics in play. Ah, shit. That was real bad. Ugh. Shan stops mom and pop. Oh my god. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. That was a punt. Man, Yasharn is secretly kind of a beast. Yasharn is secretly kind of a beast. Alright, let's see those attacks. Let's block with Collect Roof. I don't want to expose my Dryad to something silly like a Braid. Yeah, Kenpachi, you could have saved me. God damn it. Would have been so good. They can kill Dry Diver here if they want to. The best draw is Apparition though, right? This Apparition just answers the Magus straight up, and then we kind of take over from there. Like once our lands are cards, we're fine. Big Chandra? Please don't Big Chandra me. Oh. That's a lot less bad than Big Chandra, I'll tell you that much. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. We have a stupid rhyming app now. Doesn't do shit. Could have Castor Titan there. If we get Liberation now, we wouldn't have dead fetches. What do you mean? Well, now we do that thing. So it's the race between the apparition. It's the race between the apparition and my opponent's Thopters. Next turn, the Prime Time is going to start serving, though. And we also lose to the 4-mana sorcery, fiery something. Blood Moon. Okay, that's kind of not the worst. Also, they played it main phase, so I know that I can safely block with this guy. So I'm at a virtual 6 right now. Thanks to PNK. Ooh, that guy again. Primetime is 100% serving. So that's a waste of a draw. We attack, say yes. Get Valakut and Plains. I mean, this is a good old-fashioned race right here. This Primetime is kind of doing stuff. Oh my god, if we had a Yasharn, we would be in such a better spot. If we had a Yasharn here, we would be in such a better spot right now. Gonna make the same blocks that we did earlier. Oh yeah, they can sack Chalice, that's true. I don't know if they want to sack Chalice. Play Monkey. Yeah. The draws are not cooperating, folks. The draw steps are not cooperating. I think I just left myself Dobbs, didn't I? I guess my opponent doesn't know that, right? So I am playing towards my opponent making a mistake. They should throw this one under the bus, because this one is a higher layer than the Dryad, a lower layer than the Dryad. So actually which one they use does matter. 6. I think we're just dobs here. We just died to the Thopters. We're gonna be dead next turn. I don't think we can race fast enough. Second main phase Rubble. Oh, thankfully, this guy just shows up right now. Perfect timing, Mr. Tracker. Mrs. Tracker, I guess. If only you should have shown up like 3 or 4 turns earlier. It would have been awesome. Can we even jam? They should end step sack the Chalice, I think. I guess not, because I might have a Plow. They don't know about my last card in hand, so it might be a Plow, so there's no reason. Yeah, so I guess that because of the oof, this just didn't matter, right? Blocking here because I can get 1 extra clue for value. It doesn't matter. But it's cute. Wow. Oh, why didn't I get Yasharn? Honestly, I think that Yasharn might have actually won this game. I think that Yasharn, not only a 4-4 would have allowed me to clock and force my opponent to chump a lot earlier, but also like just blocking my opponent's abilities to do stuff is kind of a big deal. Oof is fine if they have Karn, but if they don't have Karn, it's pretty bad, as we just saw. I think I'm ditching it. Did you say 14 minutes of the clock in one game? Yeah, my opponent has been playing glacially slow. I don't know why. Maybe it's one of those things that, you don't know. Maybe my opponent just has a very slow computer. Who knows? Yeah, the sand is non-functional. Sand is pretty decent, actually. Scooz would have been nice there, too. Yeah, Scooz would have, just because of how late in the game we were, it might have actually done stuff. Mostly because it would have been big. I would have gained life, so it would have helped me stabilize. We didn't have that much green mana, but yeah, Ooze would have been pretty solid. Definitely keep here, and just gonna put up one of these. I think I'm just gonna put on the field, just because they're stepped. I think I'm leading on Reclaim. No, I guess that I can draw a fetch, so... If I draw another fetch, I want my Reclaimer to be a 3/4, so let's do that. And we do... Now the question is, do we want to fetch for basic here? I think I'm actually just gonna go get Savannah. It just gives me more options, and this assumes that my Reclaimer resolves, and if my Reclaimer resolves, I can just sack this and go get a basic if I need to, so... We're also going to be reclaiming again on 2. If this dies, obviously. Turn 1 Moon is a bit annoying. Turn 1 this guy. Turn 1 this guy is interesting. You're gonna get 2 triggers from this. I could wasteland myself, obviously, but that I'm not really in the business of doing that. I think I just pass. War Boss. Senate plus Wasteland the Tomb. I don't think that really achieves too much, which is the problem with that play, and then I'm behind on Reclaimer activations as well. So I thought it made more sense to get my engine going. Like now this thing is going to chump attack into my Reclaimer. Now I can Wasteland. Just main phase, just right now. Ooh. Is that better than Wastelanding? Is that better than Wastelanding? We give my opponent 3 cards. But if I waste them, then they probably cannot get rid of all of those cards. I think I'm gonna go for that, yeah. And then they're champ attacking into my Reclaimer. Unless they have a removal spell, obviously. Or if they have a Moon. Moon would be a big deal too. If I had 1 more mana, I think I would have Dryaded into Plow. But without the extra mana, this is what develops my mana right now. The only problem is if they moon me right now. They don't moon me right now. That's a good thing. I don't like that. I think my opponent should have attacked with the War Boss there. Okay, I think I like my spot now. sure. So they 2-for-1 themselves to get rid of Reclaimer. It's the power level of the Reclaimer. If we had Ancient Tomb, we could untap and grab Excavator. Yeah, I mean, again, Leviathan. I don't know how many of my VODs have you watched, but Ancient Tomb was in the deck, and I just could not make the mana work. We could add land 31. That's probably the way that we could make it work, but that's kind of what it is. What am I supposed to search for here? I think I'm gonna go just get another Flagstones, right? And then we scene it for another one of these dudes. We flood. Yeah, that's my point. But we flood with a reasonably good amount of colors, right? When I was playing with Ancient Tomb, I was flooding, but I had a lot of trouble finding my colors. Could see Cutting Forest. Yeah, I just said. You can cut a forest for a green source or a white source, but you cannot cut a forest just for a random card that doesn't tap for colored mana. I could have plowed this thing, but I think this is better. Like, if my opponent has an Abrade, they have an Abrade, but if my opponent has a Magus, I am interested in plowing it right now so I can continue developing my engine. It's a Rival Master. So that's going to force the Warboss into attacking. Land would be great. Another Reclaimer is pretty sick too. So now we get to activate, and we also get to plow one of their dudes if we want to. I'm gonna let the 1/1s don't matter, so I'm just gonna let them get 1/1s. I could have killed the Warboss there and just left the Grandmaster, but the 1/1s don't matter, and this means that I get to kill the Warboss for free. So they will need to have exactly another Shatter Skull Smashing for me to get punished here. So now with these triggers on the stack, I'm gonna plow there. And we're gonna block with both of these. My opponent doesn't want to play anymore. All right, establish the lock. All right. On the draw, I think I like Swords better than Thalia. It's possible my opponent cut Chalice too, which is important. So I think I'm gonna go with this. Long match, this one. We're 4 hours and we still have 1 match to go. Are Legacy players slower or are Legacy matches longer, or both? I kind of like this. They might have Chalice on 1, which would be bad. But even turn 1 Blood Moon is not unbeatable. That sounds like a Chalice. Yep. Nothing to do here, so I'm just gonna have 6. I think I'm wasting on 1 actually. Yeah, let's wasteland on 1. This means that when I play my Reclaimer on turn 3, it's actually going to be a 3-4, because I'm going to play it off 2 fetches and I'm going to get it off Zenith. Could also save this Zenith for, ooh, no land. Talk to me, OP. Okay, so let's fetch for plains. Let's fetch for a Savannah. And let's Zenith for 1. That's good. It's good for them, obviously. Okay, so they were holding on to this one. So we need to draw any kind of business. Pitch him P and K. Interesting. Well, that's worst case scenario. Dryad, prime time. Guess we're doing that. The problem is that now they might be able to cast this stuff off the Chandra because we didn't wasteland their Ancient Tomb. But now that sped me up for 1 turn before, so I can cast this prime time. Trinisphere, please cast it, 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 please cast it. Yeah, lock me out with that Trinisphere, please. Damn it. I didn't sell it well enough. So they have the Magus. Yeah, Sharn would be great. Tracker. Fuck, well, I'm gonna be... I think I have to delay this tracker by 1 turn. Means 2 damage from this, 2 damage from this. I think we might be just slow enough that we're not gonna get there. Yeah. When your opponent is making mana with Chandra instead of Karn the Great Creator. Fuck, man. I have not seen Karn all match. So, of course, now that I see Karn, obviously, this card would be good. Shit. Can we see a Dryad? Dryad would be one of the few ways that I can get out of this. Because it allows me to put 2 bodies into play. Dryad. God damn it. We can't even cycle because of stupid Karn. Keep getting confused why I don't play. Oh yeah, obviously. It's the Chalice on 1. They have to minus Chandra here. Unless they have another answer or another body to put into play. Because I don't think that their Magus can chump. Yep. Dryad. Dryad is the only thing. Dryad. Dryad. I guess technically my opponent might time out. I don't think that's going to happen. Though it might happen. They've been playing very, very slow all match, so... Second Chandra probably means that they are not going to be able to time out. Copy Tomb? Yeah, I copy Tomb. That was a while ago though. Try it. I guess I actually can't F6 because my opponent's gonna coding my snow-covered forest. So I'm looking for another forest or a dryad. Those are the cards that I'm drawing towards. There's the dryad. Now we need to find a forest. Forest? One time, dealer. Now you show up? God damn it. Alright, opponent. Let's see how quickly can you click. Can we cheese out the win? Yes, we can cheese out the win. Alright, for no. That was a close game. Both times we got paired against the mono red pre-Sony deck. We struggled a little bit there. This one felt a lot better. This one felt a lot better than the Painter deck. Like the fact that, you know, Painter can't really, they can really kill you out of nowhere is a big difference. So I feel like the deck is a little bit unbalanced still. I don't know how to find that balance. Still crushing all the fur decks. Yeah, we were losing to Blood Moon decks, like when they have a lot of Blood Moon effects. Basically, we don't lose to the first Blood Moon effects. We lose to like the second or the third one, and we've been losing to Fast Combo. But we did beat Doomsday in this league. We did beat Doomsday thanks to the pig. Guess who's back? I've got late to Amazon Prime has come a thing in Denmark. Oh, hell yeah, Moldirk. Thank you so much. 14 months of continuous subscription. Thank you so much for the support. Let's see. I'm looking if I can. Yeah. This is the sound that I needed. How do I add this to my soundboard? There we go. Hell yeah. Splinter Twin, keep. So every time we get the pig now, that's gonna be the sound. I thought that it was playable in some niches, but then nobody tried it. Seems sold in this shell. Oh, you mean the pig? Oh yeah, yeah. The pig actually did some work. This is a super solid hand. We are pretty fine against fair decks. We're pretty fine against spell-based combo. And we actually have disruption and we have the engine going. This is like everything that I want, kind of. And we get a cantrip to find potentially something else. I don't know what, but we could find it. I don't know what it could be, but we can find it. Fear not. I think what I'm looking for really is a Dryad, like a tool that can really speed me up and put me ahead. Being a hate piece at 4 mana soccer, but it's also good value. Yes, it is. It is, and it's something that you can Zenith for, which is what we did. We top decked the Zenith and we had 4 mana against Doomsday, and I played it. Like my opponent did actually resolve the Doomsday. And then. So if I get Flagstones here, I'm just gonna get Yasharn. I was gonna say, if I do get Flagstones there, that means that I don't need to get another Flagstones to get the engine going. But if I get second Flagstones instead of a real card... Okay. Since they did nothing, I'm just gonna Thalia here. They mulled to 5, but then they went land go. So I suspect that they're playing some form of combo. Wusa, welcome everybody from Wusa stream. We're playing some Green-White Reclaimer in Legacy today. Thank you for the raid, man. How's it going? It's Legacy, yes. It's Legacy indeed. You wouldn't think so by looking at the battlefield, but then when you look at the graveyard and you look at the hand. You went 5-0 with Niv, I imagine? What are you working with right now with Niv? What else can I play? Well, you did play some Amulet at some point. Don't think that I forgot about that. He can't play anything else. So this is the tricky spot. Like if you don't think that you can win, this is the turn to back it up. Yeah, exactly. Because now they would have to go to discard and they would give me information. So if you're not gonna do anything, if you don't think that you can win, then you just have to back it in. Because if you don't, you just want to prevent yourself from showing me info. Whatever they're doing, I think that I want Deafening Silence. Let's go with something like this. I guess I'm just gonna cut all the plows. I have no idea how to cyborg, obviously, because I don't know what my opponent's doing, but... Thank you for that follow there, driven by someone. Okay, how is Titan doing in general? Have you been having a hard time keeping my paper deck updated? I don't know what way it is going. You mean Amulet, Mulder Decay? I assume you mean Amulet. Amulet. Yeah, I think it's fine. I think that the boil tech for the sideboard is pretty solid. I've been trying out a bunch of different things. like splash in different colors. The black splash is pretty promising for stuff like mostly the Blood Chief is first, which has been pretty good. Wusa with the Prime sub. Thank you so much, Wusa. Welcome back to the Primetime Stronghold. Thank you for the continued support. I think I'm actually going to keep this hand. And if we get to turn number 2, this hand's going to be fine. Assuming what happened in game 1, obviously. One of the reasons that I came here is to sub, of course. Alright, thank you, Wusa. Appreciate it, appreciate it. Do we YOLO to Surgical, actually? I don't know if Surgical is good. So YOLO into Surgical, and then my opponent is playing Belcher. You know what I'm saying, RM? It's just like, I don't know what won the last game. I don't know if my opponent could be playing Delver for all I know, and they just kept a hand that was good but didn't have any lands. So I don't think that we can mulligan looking for a card that we don't even know if it's good. Right? If I go turn one field and my opponent says like, okay, wasteland you, just like, wait. If I had more information, obviously I would know. Like the cyber thing that I did is kind of like random, right? I think that my opponent is playing some form of fast combo, but I don't even know what it is. It could be a Reanimator, and in which case, obviously, mulliganing for Surgical would have been probably correct. Particularly my opponent now mulligan into 5. But if they're playing something else, it's just like, what if they're on Doomsday? I can mulligan to Surgical, but that's not gonna win the game. Unless my opponent is very bad. Alright. They kept 5. Interesting. I think that we can play it slow. Because we have Caracas. I think that we can play slow because we have Caracas. If we didn't have Caracas, oh. Okay, shit. It is actually oops. Alright, so we hope we don't die. The Reclaimer was actually a sick draw then, because now I can go back to the plan of holding up Bojuki Bog. Wait, no, it's not oops, it's just Belcher. No, it is oops. Okay, so we're just dead now. Alright. It is oops, but they're playing Chancellor. It is soups, but they're playing Chancellor. Alright. Feels bad. Okay, now that we know it's soups all spells. We can sideboard properly. Is Yasharn good? Can't pay life or sacrifice. Yeah, they cannot beat a Resolve Yasharn. That's hilarious. Because they cannot cast Red Return. Hey. Alright, let's go again. So I guess it's fine to side out the Titan then, because we're basically never going to go with Titan. There is an argument for doing this though, so we have an answer to a Belcher. An answer that we can tutor for Belcher. I guess we do have Oof, but this is like an actual answer. Getting paired twice against fast combo kind of sucks. Do you not want library? We're playing against a deck that is going to have a skill by turn 2, so no, I don't think we're going to be able to leverage library, unfortunately. It's good versus combo. Yeah, it's good versus combo when you are playing a Force of Will deck. Because it recoups the card advantage that you lose because of Force of Will. We're not playing Force of Will. Archon seems slow, but yeah, that's why I didn't bring it in. So if I don't die on turn 1, this is actually a pretty solid hand because I can go turn 1 Dryad, turn 2... So I need my opponent to not kill me on 1, because then I can hold up a Scavenging Ooze for the rest of the game. Seems like I kind of have to keep this, right? Snap Mole. Okay. Alright, this is a snap keep. Whoever said snap mole, awesome. Great job. Genius. They always have a turn 1. That's fair. Yeah, now the thing is, do they have the turn 1 with packed backup? Because if they don't have the turn 1 with packed backup, I think that we're probably going to be able to get there because of Reclaimer. Don't shock, damn it. Dark Rit. There's a world where they take the packs out against me. I really doubt it. So here we go. Is there a difference? Is there a difference between Surgicaling the Narcomoebas or Surgicaling the Thassa's Oracle? I'm gonna say, I'm looking at the cards. That is really funny. All right. Yeah. So nothing mattered. We were just destined to lose this match. There was nothing we could have done. Just have my opponent have their fun. 4-1, only lost to the unfair combo deck with a Pact of Negation backup. So fine showing for the deck. I guess technically we did lose to the mono red deck. Deafening Silence was a thing. Yeah. Deafening Silence would have been a thing, but like, what was I supposed to do? Was I supposed to like mulligan into Deafening Silence plus Was I supposed to mulligan into Deafening Silence plus Surgical? That's just not a thing. And at that point, what if they have Chancellor too? It's... My opponent says GG's and I say LOL. Anyway. Okay, after this league, I think I'm sold on this card. I like that it's actually sort of a lock against a variety of strategies. So that's pretty sweet. It's a quite powerful lock piece. I don't know if I would be into it in a Maverick shell, because Hate Piece at 4 mana, it seems like a little bit too much. Yeah. Yeah, actually Fairy Macabre is interesting. And with Oops being the number one deck, I think this is what I'm going to go for. It is of course better because of Once Upon a Time, right? Like you can randomly Once Upon a Time into a Fairy Macabre. So I think I am into that. The Archon just feels a little bit lackluster. So maybe that's the third Fairy Macabre right there. I'm trying to think about what the hosts of the deck are, and the hosts of the deck seem to be unfair decks and drawing the wrong cards. And because of the first one is that I have, all of these cards in my sideboard, and because of the second one is that I was considering playing another library or potentially playing another tracker as well. One Leyline. I was never a fan, Orim, of the one Leyline. I think that it's like it incentivizes you to do something that you do not want to be doing. Like you're just mulliganing hard for exactly that one Leyline, and it means that other cards you can't really keep. Like if that is your plan, you're just mulliganing exactly towards that, and you're denying yourself a draw step. And we saw how important draw steps are for this deck. It's not like you can just decline to draw a card and expect to win that game. 30 lands might be a little bit too much, which is one of the reasons why I'm thinking that maybe the last Wasteland needs to go. We will need to play something. It's just for the Dredge and Gak matchup. I think that I played against Dredge and Gak like 2 or 3 times, and I beat them all every time that I played against them. Bojuka Ball goes a very long distance, especially when you can basically tutor for it at will. I tried Mindback Trap already, and it was bad. And the reason that I'm playing Containment Priest is because Show and Tell it's also terrible for us. So Containment Priest helps against Show and Tell. It helps a bit, and it doesn't help another bit though, because whenever they go for the Omniscience kill, you're kind of fucked. So what I'm thinking is that we can put the Wasteland in the sideboard and move the Night of Autumn to the main deck. This gives us a lot of flexibility in terms of Zenith targets for game 1, and also in terms of answering stuff like Blood Moon in game 1. But yeah, the list has seen a lot of evolution since its early conception. So if you want to check out how the deck has been evolving, you can watch the VODs in my YouTube channel, and you can also find all the deck lists. Like I was updating the deck list as I was making changes to it, so you can see how the deck started and all the stuff that I tried. And if you watch the actual VODs, you can see why I don't like it. But Castle Garenbrig was tried. Overgrown Tomb was also tried. I tried many things. This is like my 10th league with this deck or something like that. And barring the very first one, which was when I was building the deck extremely poorly. When I didn't have Caracas in my deck, to be honest. So you have an idea of how bad my first list was. I literally just forgot to add Caracas, and I think I cashed every single league. I went 3-2 or better in every single league, so it's been hanging. It's been hanging. I've been shitting on Delver pretty consistently, which is pretty exciting. I've been shitting on Delver very consistently. I don't think I've ever lost a single match. I don't even know if I lost a single game to Snow. And then against Eldrazi decks and like stuff like that, it's just it's the complete joke. It's not even close. So I think that next league I'm gonna start with something like that. That's not gonna be today though, because I have to go. But thank you so much for watching. If you are watching on YouTube, I really appreciate it. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Hope you enjoy the legacy content. Bye bye.